Welcome to the Busy Guy Show. My name is Vince LoCascio, and I'm a busy guy. I've got a really busy guy here today, Paul Finamore with Hairline Creations. He's the founder and chairman, and the Hairline Creations has been around over 50 years. It's a very well-known Chicago company and institution. Paul?
How do you do?
Thanks for being here.
Pleasure to meet a busy guy.
It's nice to see you. I've seen you on TV all those years, now I finally get to see you here.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Where did this all start? You were, well, let me back up a little bit and tell you a little bit about your history first. You were a Marine sergeant? You were in the Marines?
I was discharged as a sergeant. I went in as nothing.
Well, thank you for serving as
Thank
they
you
say.
so much. Appreciate it.
And then what? And you were also a skydiver.
Yes, I was. And that's when the first Armed Forces skydiving competition in 1961, I took first place.
Nice.
And the funny thing about that is, in those days, I was 85 feet away from the target. Nowadays, they can land on your desk.
Yeah.
So,
Well, a little technology, different parachutes, so I guess imagine all that kind of thing. You are a busy guy. And then you're also a third-degree black belt.
yes, in the martial arts, right. I did a lot of full contact fighting in Japan and the United States, pretty much all over.
Interesting story. You came out of the Marines. You applied for the police department. They told you were too short. A guy that was just in the Marines.
Yeah, that was really a disappointing thing for me, so they told me I was too short. Back in those days, they had that height restriction. And I'm going, wait a minute, I just came back, I did my tour in the Marine Corps, did 3 of them in country, and now you're telling me I can't, go up be a cop? So I went to college. But in those days, they didn't like servicemen. So after I bought all the books, I went to college for 3 days and go, this isn't for me. I left college. And I took the books. I read the books.
Yeah.
But that's the way it was back then.
So now what?
So then I started the business.
And you started as a hairdresser and.
Well, actually, no. I realized that the women's wig business was being, really starting to grow in 1963. So I always remembered a friend I went to high school, and he always told me, he said, men that are good businessmen, he said, if they're in the beauty business, they do okay. So I thought, well, I'll start this. So borrowed $6,000 from my folks, had imported a lot of women's wigs and brought them on our kitchen table, and that's how it started. And then I went and became a hairdresser after that.
And right about this time, it's obviously that's a secret, but then you started thinning out too as well yourself?
Oh yeah, I had one spot right in the middle of my head, alopecia areata, with baldness and spots. And it grew back, but it grew back white. Well, I'm an early guy in my 20s, I'm trying to go out and be social. I couldn't stand it, and I couldn't wear my hair in a center part, which was very popular back then. So that's when I decided to make something that I could wear all the time. I could swim with it, because there was nothing like that available. So came up with something, got a patent on it, and off we went.
Nice.
And we're still rolling.
And you say 63, so right about that time with the Beatles coming out and everybody wanted, just
with the
long
long
hair.
hair, right.
It was a good opportune time for all that to be happening.
Timing was very important. You need hard work, but you also need timing, and you need a little bit of luck.
So along the way, you've been awarded 7 patents
Yes.
for your products?
Right. And basically each subsequent patent was just an improvement of what I already did. So in other words, I kept trying to make what I did better. And that's why we ended up with 7 of them. And it worked out pretty well.
And you are a busy guy, because the research I'm doing, all along the way you've had advertising and media ventures.
Yes, yeah.
And winning awards along the way.
Many awards, and if you're going to do something, you got to do it right. That's my attitude. And I want to be the best that I can be, and I want to be better than the competition. That's it. I'm a competitive guy. So.
Well, from the reading that I'm doing, you certainly have done that with Hairline Creations. And then also, 2 times on the 10 best dress list
Yeah, right.
for men.
Well, you can tell I was spending too much money on my clothes, apparently. God, so, but yes, I was on there in the 80s with the 10 best dressed men in the world, with Ronald Reagan, Prince Charles, George Hamilton, and Paul Finamore.
Paul
from
Finamore, right up
Chicago.
there.
That was an experience.
Well, let's talk about, we're not doctors, but obviously you know about it, but the causes of hair loss and what causes those kind of things?
Well, there can be many causes of it. Accident. Most of it's genetics. Most of it's just male pattern baldness or female pattern baldness. But there's people that have been in accidents. Stress has been a reason for people to lose their hair, like especially the Second World War guys, that were over there. I consider that a lot of stress.
I'd say so.
Yeah, and fires, fire burn victims. But whatever the problem is, surgical procedures have caused, a lot of hair loss. But whatever the cause of the hair loss, we have an answer for it. And that's what we're all about, We want to restore their hair so that restores their confidence, their self-image, and we want them to like us. That's real important.
Well, I see it. I mean, on your website, all the testimonials, they talk not only about the product so much about your staff and your crew.
Wonderful staff.
And also, I don't know if you mentioned about medications can cause a hair loss.
Oh, yeah, that's
obviously.
right. Medications can cause it too. And some people say wearing a helmet all the time. I'm not quite sure of that.
Yeah.
But like I say, whatever the reason is, we'll take care of it.
Nice. Well, it sounds like the confidence you have in your business shows through the testimonials, like I said. So you tell me, I mean, and you don't cater just to men. You say men, women, and children?
Men, women, and children.
Unfortunately, kids have to come in and...
Well, a lot of times with kids, either through fire or alopecia, which is baldness. It can either be in spots or it can be totalius, where they lose all the hair on their body. Pretty sad for a little 4 or 5-year-old kid. But when we put the hair on them, they can be on a gymnastics team. I mean, it's on them. It's on them, and they love it. And these little kids, when they come in, my staff, I mean, they're just too adorable. And the parents are thrilled because, because the kid was getting teased.
I can imagine how traumatic. First, just the thing that's going on for them.
Sure, especially with the bullies, on a little child like that. So we're happy about that we can do that. And the women, we do something that nobody else can do. We give them their hair where they can sleep in it, they can shampoo it on their head, set it in rollers. Whatever they want to do, they can do. And that's what I think sets us apart.
Well, because, what else is out there? There's a lot of transplants, and you see the plugs.
Right,
and
right. That's the problem with the transplants. We had doctors, I got involved with this transplants, maybe about 15 years ago. 10 years ago. I didn't like the results. If it doesn't look good, I don't want to have anything to do with it. And there were other drawbacks on it. They claimed that once they start the transplanting stuff, the hair that they had starts falling out faster. The lifting of the bald spots, they're taking hair out. It just didn't make sense to me. Another thing that was very popular, that we try stuff out before we actually market it. Okay, we tried the laser therapy. We didn't have any success with that. We tried the oils and creams and minoxidil and all of that. I don't know about you, but I don't want to have to be putting stuff on my head every day that makes my hair look like I put Vaseline on it. And then if I stop using it, whatever peach fuzz grew back in there falls out. It's kind of like a moot point. And then it costs money. So we don't do that either. We don't want anything to do
And
with
yours
it.
is all done without surgery?
Ours is done
Your
without
pets.
surgery, just hair. They don't have to worry about a thing. We worry about it.
Well, it's nice that it's out there, especially in this, the society where image is so important. Everybody's wants to look perfect and fit and all that, and this, you know,
People don't realize how important first impressions are, whether it's trying to get a date or whether it's trying to get a job, you know, and it's also has to me nobody's losing their hair and not thinking about it, and it's just really bugging them, you know, and it can cause depression about it. They start wearing baseball hats everywhere they go. I mean, or something. They have to do something. So this is a unique business, but out of the different businesses that I've chaired, this is my favorite one. And that's why, with my daughter, I could have had her in the ad agency. I could have had her in anything after Loyola Business School and all of that. But this one, you make lasting friendships. Yeah, we don't know a recession. You know, we can have a slow time like this winter with the bad weather, you know, but once that weather cleared up, we're building back up again, which is pretty neat, and it puts a smile on my face.
Well, the confidence thing, you talk about how in your website it talks about how some guys come in and first off, it takes a lot of nerve for them to come in.
That's the hardest part of our business.
But then they're worried about what they're going to look like, and they're worried that people are going to tease them. But you said, you tell us.
But the hardest part of our business is getting somebody that has hair loss in our doors to see what we're about. If they have the courage to do that, because they're always afraid. They're afraid. They think it's going to blow off their head, and other people saying you look fine the way you are, which is you think they're doing them a favor. They're really hurting them. Telling them you look fine the way you are, you're lying to the guy. He knows he doesn't look that good. You know, so now he's really confused, and he's afraid to come and see us because, oh my God, what, he's going to get a hairpiece or he's going to do that. Then they come, then they get it. Now they're practically dancing when they can't believe it. They're looking this way, this way, this way. I can't tell. And all of us are going, well, okay. Then they give us the stories afterwards. If they'll be walking down a mall and they see the windows on the stores, they just keep walking, looking at themselves in the mirror. And we had an Italian fellow call up and say, my mother, the Italian mom, when she saw him, she said, oh my God, my bambino. So we have the stories are wonderful. We've heard guys that have made jumps in their career because of it. We've had TV personalities that said that, you know, they've done much better. They got off the weekend, you know, the news and got regular, you know, big time jobs. So it just makes a difference. And
tell us about the lady that was upset. The lady that tried to sue you said because
Frank. The guy's name was Frank. Now this happened in the 60s. This guy comes in. He lived across the street from my Montrose building, and he wanted to get hair. Yeah, about 6-7 weeks later, we had the hair ready for him. We go to pay him. He pulls out a big roll of cash and peels off the money to us, and he goes, "I love it, you know, I love it." And he paid us some cash, and he still had a roll I never seen a roll of cash.
Good point. I was hoping you said he didn't have to use the whole wad.
Yeah, not at all, not at all. No. We're
and for
very
that, you
reasonable.
go to the website.
Yeah, we want the repeat. We're reasonable, and but anyway, so about 3-4 days later, this woman comes through the front door. I'm gonna sue. She starts screaming at the reception. I'm gonna sue you. We're saying, you know, they call me up. I come out of my office. I go, what's the problem? And she goes, my husband hasn't been home since he came here. It's he left. He's gone. I'm going, well,
my problem.
I have nothing to do with that.
He looks so good. He didn't.
We never even saw that guy again. So I don't know where he went.
If you're watching.
Yeah, right.
Good luck.
Well, but most of the wives love it. I mean, look, our experience is with the wives, if they see that the husband's really, you know, bummed out about it, they'll say, oh, you look fine, you'll look fine. But if that guy really wants to do something for himself and he comes in to see us, now his wife is happy. Because the girls want their men to look good for their girlfriends.
Yeah.
That's it. People don't realize it. Even little kids want their dad. My daughter, when she was about 6 years old, she's 36 36 or 38 now, right?
Go with 36.
Yeah, I'll go with 36. I better go with the 36. But anyway, we were at the house, and in those days, I was developing new ones, so I was not putting it on permanent like this. I would just take it off at night, and I'd try a different one. I'd try gray hair, less gray hair, different foundations. And so I didn't have it on, and she was going to have some of her friends from the school come over to play. I didn't have my hair on. She's 6 years old. And I was older than all of her friends' fathers to begin with, you know, because I had her late in life, right? And she, Dad, I go, what's the matter? Your hair. I go, well, what about my hair? She says, go get it. But then the doorbell is ringing. So, I mean, that was, it was important to her. And I raised her as a single father since she was 3 years old. That's when I got custody of her. So for her, though, that just shocked me, you know, to hear it. And, but it is important.
It's
you know.
image. Well, what about maintenance then? So, for example, when you got to get a haircut, they come to you, or they just go to the regular
Most of
barber?
them like to come to us, but we do a lot of business from out-of-state guys. So we have to, you know, kind of work with their barber, or if they want to go to their own barber, you know, we'll tell them, you know, what to do. You know, we'll have to kind of explain to them, because we don't want them cutting the hair on the hair replacement. You know, because then we got to be adding hair.
And then what about gray hair? I mean, when that starts to change?
If the guy's going gray, well, first off, these do wear out.
Like me?
Yeah, these do wear out. In fact, nowadays we sell very few. We lease them now, so the guy always has new hair. That was something my daughter put into play, yeah. We lease them, so the guy doesn't have to lay out, you know, the big dollars. He just pays us a minimum amount each month, but he always looks good, and he's always got new hair. So the guy gets a little gray, he wants a little more gray. I've got the staff. We just add the hair, you know. If maybe he's been
to that piece
playing. Maybe he's been right to the existing one. Maybe he plays hockey like a lot of these guys do. You know, in the helmet, you know, maybe they have more hair breakage. Well, when they come in for service, we have the staff to just add a little bit of hair or whatever it needs until their new one comes in. So we like to keep them all in new hair, so we had to work out a way to make it affordable to the customer, and also so that we could afford to even do this. And it was my daughter's idea, and I told her, well, just try it with...
So leasing, huh?
The leasing, yeah. I mean, it's crazy, leasing hair. And
Why
what
not?
the heck? So
You lease a car, you lease your hair.
Well, I didn't know...
And you can wear it in a convertible, too.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's the craziest thing. And it turned out to be wonderful, because I think right now, 95% of our business is on the leasing. Well, and the service, of course. But I mean, as far as sales versus... So we had to figure it out if we could afford to do this, because, you know, you got to pay the staff, pay for the materials, pay for the labor, and do all of that. But we were able to work it out, and now our customers, they always look good because they've always got fresh hair, so they don't have to be paying us to color it. Because each time you color it, if you buy them, you know, you want it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as good as when it's new. So that's what we do nowadays.
And then you've got, what, 3 locations?
3 locations, 33, well, 33 girls, but there's only 2 men, me, and I'm really, you know, kind of in the background now, and my son-in-law, Arthur, who's a brilliant young man and a hard worker, and there's 33 girls. And it's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. They come to work, and they're happy to be there, and that makes me happy, and it makes the customers happy. So that's it.
Well, it sounds like
simple.
You're a great businessman, but it certainly sounds like you care about your customers, and they care about you.
Absolutely. Well, I told my staff one time, I go, the whole deal is, look, every one of us want to be liked. Don't we? Right. We want people to like us.
Sure, who doesn't?
So now, right, who doesn't? So now we got a business. The only way we're going to succeed is if these people that come into us like us.
Yeah.
Bottom line, I said, so we got to do whatever it takes so they like us. That means as far as pricing goes, as far as the quality of the work, you know, and the service that we're going to give them, you know, and it worked. And so we're liked. That's why we're still here.
Nice.
And I love it.
And as we mentioned, you have a lot of clients that are celebrities and stuff that want to keep it confidential. Or?
Very confidential, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have I could fill up your notebook with pages of people, because we got O'Hare Field right over here. So that's great, and these people are traveling all the time anyway. And, but no, that's very confidential. We don't sell our email list. We don't, you know, we keep things very, very, in fact, even all of our file cabinets are marked top secret and confidential. We're not, stuff's not to be disclosed, unless the guy wants to.
Yeah.
You know, like me, I don't care if people see me bald.
Well, you're the,
Yeah, but I mean, we got customers
you're the
like that too.
walking billboard, as they say.
we had one customer, he would just wear like a daily wear where you'd put it on each day. We asked him, well, why don't you let us put it on permanent? He says, Paul, I'm making money with this. Hey, what are you talking about? He says, I go to a bar, I start up a conversation, I ask people, how do you like my hair? He goes, it looks nice, what are you talking about? He says, well, it's not mine, it's a Hairline creation. The guy goes, yeah, right. He said, well, how much you want to bet? So he'd be betting $20, $50, and he'd take it off right on the bar.
Nice.
We have some very funny stories that you know, that have come across our ears over the 50 years that we've been.
Well, 50 years. I mean, you deserve a lot of credit. Like I said,
thank you.
you're a Chicago institution. I mean, with the commercials and.
Yeah, it's just like I said. You know, well, like you're a busy guy. If you're going to make it in business, you have to be busy, but you got to be busy in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, no fast buck. You know, the fast buck guys that we've seen.
And it's out there, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, like you said, there's there's that expression. It's a bad piece.
Right, but that is out there. You know, the guys are buying maybe synthetic hair, but most of these places, what they're doing is that they're buying from wholesalers. Being that the business grew so big, in fact, a lot of these things are some of my old patents that they're making in China and Korea, and they're selling them to hair distributors. And the hair distributors turn around and sell them to the barbers. Well, the barbers doesn't have he doesn't have the experience that we have. We're not a hair salon. We just specifically specialize in hair replacement. That's all we do. We don't do women's hair or men's hair. You know, they don't come into us for that. We don't do that. But these people, they think that they know good, so the wholesalers put them through a course, but then you see them, and you can see them if you're in a restaurant. You can spot them across the road, across the room. Horrible.
Or when it's blown off their head.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's horror stories, not with our stuff.
Yeah, well, that's a big confidence thing that you talk about. You can
Right,
shower and do all kinds of things.
Yeah, you're right. And like I say, I was in the ring fighting, you know, the full contact fighting with my hair on, and guy had me in a headlock once, hit me in the head, and I'm going, you know what? I'm glad I got the hair on. It's just because his glove was sliding on my hair. So, but that was, and he became a customer, by the way, after that fight. Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for being on the show. I got some chocolate cannolis
thank you
for
so much, and I appreciate it.
And,
you know, your interest in our company and my family.
Well, you're a great
and the
human
best to
interest
you.
story, I mean, especially for Chicago
Well,
and
I
for
hope so.
you know, people watching that might be thinking about doing it or, you know, building confidence.
No, my
So,
message to people would be, look, you know, if you want to succeed in whatever it is that you're doing, just try to be better than everybody else. Work hard and stay busy.
Nice.
That's perfect. Work hard. Yeah, no fast buck.
Well, listen, I got to step away.
Okay.
So I'm sorry I have to leave. I know it's,
All right, well,
you know,
thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
coming
I
out.
appreciate it.
You're Class
I
A.
appreciate it. This is not a good thing to be leaving with me,
That's right.
but I'm going to
That's
enjoy
why
it.
they're here.
I'm going to enjoy this.
So thanks for being
Thank
on.
you.
And for information, go to hairlinecreations.com.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Paul.
Bye-bye.
Gotta go.
Oh, this is terrific. Oh, my. Do I start on these yet? Oh, my God.